Okay, so whenever you're mounting your Strat bridge, you take it down. Always use a manual screwdriver. You're going to take it down to the point where it lifts the body off the back of the bridge, off the back of the body, and take it about a quarter of a turn back, and you'll see that it lands back where it should. Also, whenever you're putting screws in, you want to make sure you don't strip them out, so you go backwards until you find a thread. The screw will drop into it. That way you're not stripping out threads. And by using this technique, you are making sure that you have the right amount of floppiness, that the screw's doing its job, but then the trem will still work. When it's cranked all the way down, the trem won't work, and you put stress on that part of the body, which isn't as thick, and you end up ripping it out of the body if you try to do something with the trem arm. Okay, boys and girls, we are back with our PartsCaster, and as you see, I have my drill out here, my super long drill, and I have it marked to length for the claw screw. I used my punch to put in starter holes, and we're going to go ahead and drill, and we're going to drill it very carefully, and we're going to put it at a slight angle into the body. Okay, that's one. Now we're going to split the difference. Go right there. Same sort of thing. Okay, that part's done. I think I was very successful with getting those two dowels in there. I think that worked just perfectly. Now we're going to go ahead and get our claw. Where's our claw? Oh, it's taped in here. Okay. We're golden. Let's just get our perfect. Okay. So you see what we did there? Split the difference. Now we can go ahead and put the neck on and see if we're going to need a shim. Yep, it was the D string. what had happened was whenever we got this back, we started to turn it. Once it was in the body in the right direction, the pinion was at an angle, and we turned it one time around and it broke. That's because there was tension on it with it not being secure, so it was bent. Alright, find if we need to have a shim in this neck. I'm surprised that this is a really good fit. Fender thing on there. Screws. Okay, so that's that problem sorted. We've got the neck in here. Now let's just see what it looks like with the straight edge. I got a bunch of spiders down here. It is a basement after all. It looks like we're going to be just fine with what we have. We're going to get rid of the sharp fret ends here, and I like to use the Fret Guru just because it seems to really work well. And these are the jumbos. Yep. They just don't do they just don't go for the extra mile at the factory. That's unfortunate. Since there was a hole up here in the headstock, I put a second string tree there. I had one, no big deal. Hey friends, welcome back to Stringman Guitars. We're here with our PartsCaster, and we're stringing it up with Ernie Ball 1046. Just about to drop the E in. High E, and I realized I had forgotten to hit the record button. How y'all doing? I'm doing fine. Okay, so we have, just to recap, we have a Guitar Fetish body, Guitar Fetish bridge, Guitar Fetish block, the claw, I don't know where that's from, the springs, I don't know where they're from, a Fender neck plate, a Fender made Mexico neck, and Fender tuners, which one of them blew out. If you recall the back of the beginning of the video, the D, I think it was really hard to turn. And as I was getting, awaiting the tusk nut to come, I had oiled these because they had a little hole in the back. I'll show you real quick. that hole in the back, you could drop a little 3-in-1 in. And every once in a while that's a bad idea, especially if they've sat for a while. So we polish your frets, and like I said, they'll need probably in a year or two, depending on how much he plays, a nice level 1 crown, but not quite there yet. We put the nut in, we added the other string tree which wasn't on it. Now we have our replacement tuner in the D spot, and we're going to go ahead and tune this up, or string it up I should say. Now the way I do these is, this is going to live here, this is the low E, so I'm going to cut it, I think, here. You can always cut off more if I need it, but you can't add more string on after you cut it. I think that will give us the right amount of wraps. It might be 3, but like I said, you can always cut it a little bit. So what we do is we put it in the hole all the way down and wrap it around and down. You get your string winder, you always wrap under. That's going to give us 2 nice wraps. Well, almost, about 2 on that side, 3 on that side. And that's how you do it. So we're going to do 4, and then we're going to do on the plain strings, we'll do 5 wraps on these 3 here, or 5 posts. So this one is going to live here. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to cut it here and repeat the process. This is a Tusk GrafTech Tusk XL nut, self-lubricating, but I'm still going to put some of this Ultra Lube. Actually no, I'm going to use Big Ben's string lube. Alright, so there's people walking around upstairs. Anyhow, the neck isn't exactly lined up here, so the base side is hanging over the frets just a little bit, so I'm going to loosen the neck, put some pressure on the top, and re-screw it down to hopefully tilt the neck that way to get the strings to come over where they belong. Mucho better. Okay, so you just crank these down, and we don't want to strip anything out, we just want to make it really snug. You kind of do the thing that I used to do on my Toyota Corolla that had only 4 lug nuts. The crossway pattern and dispense equal tension. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and stretch the strings in. I always stretch them on this side of the nut as well. And we already inserted our Big Ben's nut sauce into the slots. So I'm going to tune it up and we'll be back. Okay, and then down on the Trem side we use this stuff called Super Lube. Multi-purpose synthetic oil with Synclon TFE. And we're going to loosen our strings, put a little bead on it. It's really doesn't move unless you wipe it off. We put a little bit there, and we put a little bit where the string passes over the opening in the bridge under the saddles. Okay. I dropped my pick. Alright, so I'm going to tune this back up and stretch the strings in. And make everything work again.